Hello, today we'll talk about a network concept called CIDR block notation. CIDR block is CIDR, stands for cashless interdomain routing. CIDR block is this compact syntax to specify an IP address range in a network. So, for example, you have like 192.10.0.0. This is one IP address, and if you convert that to the binary bits, you'll get this series of zeros and one. It has four sections separated by dots, so each has 8 bits. So it's called each one is called octet. There are four octets here, and so if you want to specify the range, for example, I want to say that 192.10.0.0 to 192.10.255.255. So this is an IP range, and you can see that 192.10 is fixed in both the IP. So that means they belong to a single network, and that is the network ID. And if you convert that to IP address, sorry, binary bits, you will find this first 16 bits are fixed for both the IPs, and the first one is with all zeros. That's the starting IP of the IP range. So starts with 00 and then 255, 255. So for the last IP address of that range, you have all ones. So you can, this first part, which is 16-bit marked in yellow, that's the network ID. That's fixed. You cannot change it in your that range that we have given. And the remaining 16 bits, you can change zeros and ones, and you can get a range of IPs to use for your device. So this, but representing in this way, it's not very efficient. So we'll use a CIDR notation to specify the IP range. So this is how it goes. The first part, this is 192.10.0.0/16. So the first part is the starting IP address of your range. So in my range, the first one is 0.0/16. So 16 means it's saying the first 16 bits in my IP address, it's fixed. That is called the prefix length or prefix. So this, in this case, the first 16 bits are my prefix. So that cannot be changed in the IP range that I'm working with. So this /16 means the first 16 bits are marked for prefix, so you cannot change that. So remaining 16 bits, you can change zeros and ones to get a range of IP address. So as you can see here, so I have 16 bits for my range. So the fixed part is called the prefix, and the bits that you can change to get the IP different IP address is called IP range. So as you can see, I have 16 bits to get my IP range. So the number of IP address you have in your range is 2 to the power 16, that is 65,536. Similarly, if I go for 192.10.10.0/24, that means my first 24 bits are marked for prefix. So as you can see here, all the 24 are marked for prefix. So that's fixed for the network ID. And the remaining 8 bits, because there are total 32 bits of 4 octets. The remaining 8 bits is for your IP range. You can change it to zeros and ones, and with all the combination, and it generate your IP range. So now the number of IPs you have with /24 is 2 to the power 8, because I have 8 bits for my range. So that comes to 256 IPs. So /16, I have 65,536 IPs. The /24, I have 256 IPs. Now, similarly, if you go for /27, 192.10.10.32/27, that means the first 27 bits are fixed for the prefix, and remaining I have only 5 bits to generate the IP address from my IP range. So I have 2 to the power 5. I have 32 IPs available for to assign to different device. So if you continue that, and if you can see here, I have /32. That means all the bits are marked for prefix. I don't have anything for range. So in that case, this, if you do /32, that will give me just one IP for my range. And on the other end, if I do 0.0.0.0/0, that means there is no bits are marked for prefix. Everything's for range. So I can have 2 to the power 32 IP addresses for my IP range, which is more than 4.2 billion IPs. That's the all the IPs that is available in the world with this 4 octet um, IP notation. So if you'll see this CIDR notation if you're working with some cloud infrastructure setup like AWS or Oracle clouds, and if you are setting up your public subnet for a machine compute server that you are putting in your public subnet, and you are configuring your IP security list, then you say that my source IPs, you'll give this IP address. That means because this subnet or this machine is open to internet for public network, that means anyone can connect to that subnet. So anyone means any IP address in the world. So in that case, the source IP address you will give this IP address. So that means this is if you say /0, that means there is all the IP address available in the world. That is more than 4.2 billion. So that's about the CIDR notation. Hopefully, you learned something about this network concept. Thank you. Bye.